beautiful beings. Welcome back to my channel, Rising with Rachel. I am Rachel, and together we rise in talking about all things cosmic and consciousness. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to share the love. As much as I don't want to be a part of the silly little human algorithm, I do want to be a part of spreading the messages that are so deeply needed right now to help the consciousness of the collective wake up to the truth of who they are so that we can create the heaven on earth that we were meant to live. So thank you for being here with me along this journey. If you are watching this video, you are one of the spiritual warriors on the forefront of this revolution that is happening within the consciousness of humanity right now. I see you, I honor you, I love you. Now let's get into it. The awareness that I bring forth to you today is that your love is not enough to change anybody. And I don't mean that in a disempowering way. Your love creates worlds, right? Love itself is what makes up the entire universe. God, source, universal energy, whatever you want to call it, is love. Your love with conscious intention can change so much, but it cannot change somebody that does not want to change themselves. And trust me, I've learned that the hard way, which is why I'm here to tell you that it does not matter what ways you exercise that love for someone. It doesn't matter if you stick by their side in times of turmoil. It does not matter if you show up to really hard, difficult conversations with your heart on your sleeve. It does not matter if you are giving them honest advice or telling them a harsh truth that they need to hear. It does not matter what ways you exercise that love. Your love cannot change someone that does not want to be changed. Here's the thing about people. They won't change unless they have that desire to themselves. If they genuinely have that need to grow and evolve as a person within their heart, within their soul, within every cellular structure of their physical being, that's when the change will be made. But what happens most of the time is that people change in a performative way, right? Because why do people change? It's usually because they have faced some sort of consequence to their actions, right? Let's say you're in a relationship with someone and they end up cheating on you. That person, when they're caught, will make change. They will probably apologize. They will do little things to try to gain your trust back. They will show up in some sort of way, acting like they made change. But more times than not, those people will end up doing the same actions, if not the exact same way, in other ways, smaller ways, different ways, because it's the same experience with a different face, because they have not actually alchemized what it is that made them cheat. They have not looked in the shadow parts of themselves and actually done the healing work to be different. What happened was they got caught and now have to face the consequences of their actions. So they are going to put on a performative change. That's kind of how we get stuck in cycles with people, right? Like someone hurts our feelings, we tell them, we talk about it, they say they understand, and they end up doing the same thing over and over again until we learn how to respect ourselves enough to walk away and realize that we can't rely on people's words. We have to pay attention to their actions because their actions are always telling the truth. And getting stuck in those cycles, the cycles themselves are physical evidence right in front of your eyeballs that that person does not have an actual desire to change. Because if they had an actual desire to change, then they would be in therapy. They would be reading self-help books and applying the wisdom, right? Because it's not that you just read self-help books and are changed miraculously like a lot of people like to think. It's the fact that they are applying what they're learning through every thought they have, every impulse they have, every decision that they make. It would be showing you in small ways and large that they are considering you as a person. There would be more physical evidence that this person is trying to change as opposed to ending up doing the same thing, if not something different with the same type of energy, keeping you in a cycle where you are sitting here explaining to somebody that they hurt your feelings, that they betrayed your trust, that they mistreated you. Those cycles are the evidence that the person has no desire to change. Because again, if they did, you would see it. You would feel the difference. So while this person is keeping you hung up and stuck in the cycle because of their words and telling you what they're going to do, you are disempowering yourself by sticking in a situation where you are being straight up lied to, girl. You are being straight up lied to, and you're believing it, and to no fault of your own, because this reality is a difficult one to navigate, right? Like you are also operating with your own sets of belief systems and thought programs and past experiences that you are seeing this entire situation through. So absolutely give yourself the grace of, you've only been doing the best that you can at any given time, but now you are knowing better. Now you know differently. So what's your excuse now? Why are you still stuck in the cycle if you know that this person's actions are always telling the truth and that you are just not moving differently. That is a harsh truth that you have to face, because you have to ask yourself, what about you is keeping you in that cycle, is keeping you in that need for validation through this person changing? Why is it that you can't just walk away and that you need to see that growth in that person? Why can't you love yourself enough to keep yourself out of a situation that is only bringing you emotional, psychological, and maybe physical turmoil? The only thing you're doing by playing this game and staying in these cycles and choosing to live in the illusion, listening to somebody's words instead of their actions that are showing you that they are not willing to change, even with the power of your love next to them, is disempowering yourself. You are letting your energy leak all over the place. You are being an energetic mess because you aren't just choosing you. You aren't choosing that love that you have to give somebody else for yourself. I learned this so intensely through my last relationship, and I really understood how much I was disrespecting myself by continuously trying to give this unconditional love to somebody that was not at all trying to receive it. And again, if there had been any signs that this person was trying to receive it, I wouldn't have ended up in the same cycles over and over again. But it was me needing to run into the same brick wall 500 times until I realized, like, wow, I'm pretty bruised and damaged and beat up, and I think I have a few broken bones, and it all is stemming from me not being able to choose myself and give myself that unconditional love that I was trying to give to somebody that was like this the entire time. And again, this stuff is hard because it's not that these people that you're trying to give your love to are saying, la, 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 I'm not listening to you. They're going to look in your face and pretend. They're going to look in your face and say, yes, I understand. Yes, I'm sorry I hurt you. They're going to tell you everything that you wanted to hear and create this fake sense of closure for you, only to do the same exact things. And that's how you know that these people are not genuinely trying to change. Because I don't know about you, but I've sat on the saying for a while that a leopard never changes its spots. And I've thought, how is that possible? Because I have seen myself change. I have seen this leopard alchemize its spots, okay? But you can't make somebody do the work if they don't want to do it. I know people can change because I have changed myself. And because I have done that work and I can look in the mirror and see the new person that I am compared to the person that I used to be and say, I did that work. Look at all that digging that I had to do, all the shadow work that I had to face in order to change and really alchemize and be the person that I am today. Because I can see those things, it is so easy for me to identify when other people have not done it themselves. And people are always telling the truth. That's something that I have realized really intensely, is that their actions are always telling the truth of what they feel. Stop listening to words and start paying attention to people's actions. It's also that saying that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. You cannot make people change. You cannot make somebody who has no desire to be different, because when they are doing it for you and not for themselves, that is something that will be existing in their subconscious brain and will give them absolutely zero motivation to change, right? Like if you lose your job tomorrow, there is a fire under your ass that is like, I have to get a new job. I have to do this now. If there is no metaphorical fire under that person's ass, they need to be different, they are never going to feel that urgency to change. They are never going to make that difference. What they want to do is have no turmoil. What they want to do is just get over dealing with the consequences of their actions. So their change will be extremely performative until they do it again and they show you that they have not made that genuine change. But it does not matter, again, how much love and support and understanding you show that person. Girl, at the end of the day, we all got trauma. So what's your excuse? What is this person's excuse that is the reason that they have not changed? There is none. It's because they don't want to. And that's sad. That's frustrating. That's annoying. It's a whole lot of things besides happy and joyous and prosperous, right? But it's also none of our business, which is why we need to remove ourselves from these situations, because we are only losing our own power by sticking around people that are just throwing our love to the dust, that just do not care. There are people out there that are waiting to receive the unconditional love that you have to offer, that would be so grateful to experience 1/27th of the love that you tried to give the wrong person. So why is it that you won't just pull yourself out of that situation and go give that love to other people that would be willing to accept it? That's again where you have to start asking yourself these questions and do your own digging and inner work and ask yourself why you're seeking this cycle out. In the meantime, while you do that work, just remove yourself from it. Realize that you are leading the horse to water. The horse knows the water is there. The horse don't give a baby, he's not drinking it. So go find another thirsty horse that is willing to drink the water you put in front of them, that is your unconditional love, instead of this thirsty horse that's in front of you that is instead refusing to drink the water even though it just traveled 40 days in the desert and is in desperate need of it. Something I've also come to terms with realizing that your love is not enough to change somebody is that a lot of the times your love will feel like an attack to people that are not ready to receive it, that are not willing to receive it, right? Because love is showing up in authenticity. It's showing up in truth. It's showing up in honesty. It's saying we are bigger than whatever mountain we face. We are bigger than whatever obstacle shows up on our path. And when you are operating from a heart space, when you are operating from this place of oneness, if you are trying to exercise this love with somebody who has only ever run from darkness, that has only ever been avoidant, that has only ever swept things under the rug instead of looking them in the face, that unconditional, real, authentic love is going to feel like an attack on them. It's going to feel like an attack on everything they've ever known, the person they've always been, what they've been taught to believe. And they are always going to make you the problem. You are always going to be the one that's left feeling uncomfortable, that's left ghosted, abandoned, that's left to feel like you did something wrong and or told you did something wrong, even though you're the only person that showed up in honesty, in truth, in authenticity, with your heart on your sleeve. You are going to be made the villain when someone doesn't understand your definition of love, when they have a completely different vocabulary for what that word means. The way that you show up, even though you know it's real, is going to be perceived as an attack. And I'm sure if you think about it for 2 seconds, your brain can find evidence right now of all the times you've tried to have conversations with particular people, to be progressive, to just talk through your problems that never ended up working out, right? Because that person didn't want to change and your love felt like an attack. And trust me, I've sat with this even when I was in my last relationship and I was kind of putting the pieces together, that every time I was trying to be progressive, to grow through something we were going through, or just show up authentically and hold accountability for each other and the experiences that have happened and show up in real love form, right, from my heart space, it was never going anywhere. And I'm sorry to tell you that. I really hate to break the news to you, but at the same time, I don't, because why are you going to waste your time now that you know this? Now that you know this person has no desire to change and this person does not care about your love and everything that you do is going to be an attack to this person, why would you stay in this situation? Why would you keep yourself in this cycle, in this rat race, on this hamster wheel? Keep it pushing. I share this awareness with you because now that you have it so bluntly, stop making excuses for it, right? Again, we all have trauma. Who gives a shit, girl? Chances are you've probably been through worse than the person that's making you watch this video right now, and yet you are not behaving in the same ways that they are. You're not treating people in the same ways that they are. You're making excuses for them. It's time to start choosing yourself. It's time to start pouring that love that you continuously are pouring into a strainer, because it just keeps going right through, right? Imagine putting water in a strainer. It's going right through. Ain't nothing being kept. Start pouring that love into your cup that's made out of bronze, that's made out of bionic universal material that is literally indestructible. Okay? You start pouring that liquid gold into yourself instead of somebody that is literally just letting it go to waste and flow right through them. That is not listening, not paying attention, does not care. Give it back to you because you deserve it. And every time that you choose to stay in that cycle, every time that you choose understanding, right, you are just time and time again disrespecting yourself, disempowering yourself. And you know what happens in those situations? Then your brain starts to believe, I deserve this. This is what I'm worth. Then feelings follow those thoughts, feelings of unworthiness, insecurity, lack, then create more thoughts around those feelings. And then it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I have these thoughts because I have these feelings, and these feelings because I have these thoughts. And you're still stuck in that cycle because, again, now you believe that that's what you're worth and you feel like that's what you're worth. And now your brain is finding physical evidence to support that. So give your brain the physical evidence that it needs to be able to move on, to choose yourself. Pick you and back away from these situations that are disempowering you. And when you start to feel better, when you start to think better, when you start to look better, then your brain's going to have the physical evidence that choosing you was the right answer, that choosing you was what you needed to do in order to break the cycle, that choosing you was the most valuable thing that you could have done, was the best way that you could have shown up, was the absolute greatest thing that could have happened to you, because now you are set up for success. Now you are set up for rewiring your belief systems, for seeing what it is now that you're really worth, because the universe is going to give you, law of attraction is real, all of these higher vibrational experiences and new people and places, because because you just upped your frequency by choosing yourself. You just upped your vibration by removing yourself from a situation that only gave you headaches and stomach aches. You were the one that said, no, this, I'm going to choose what's in alignment for me. And the universe is going to give you physical evidence to support that. But it all starts with you. You change your mind, you change your life. Through awareness, we find alignment. So now that you are aware, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to allow yourself to stay in the same cycles, to allow this person to come up with the same bullshit excuses, to permit the same behaviors because you feel bad? Or are you going to start giving a about yourself? Are you going to choose you? Are you going to choose to take your power back by saying, you know what? This is disrespectful to me on so many levels, multidimensionally. And I don't deserve this. I deserve the world because abundance is my birthright. And this situation is anything but abundance. Okay, you know what's abundant? Your unconditional love that people are waiting to receive. The only abundance that you're receiving by staying in a situation that is disempowering you is an abundance of headaches, is an abundance of intrusive thoughts, is an abundance of tummy aches, okay? And those lower vibrational feelings themselves are the proof that you need that that situation is not in alignment for you, that it is time to move on. Those lower vibrational feelings are not meant to be existing as long as they are in your reality, girl. Okay, we are not meant to be depressed all the time, sad all the time, worried all the time, frustrated all the time. We are meant to be prosperous beings. The universe is in constant expansion. We are meant to constantly expand physically, emotionally, and consciousness. We are meant to do so much greatness. We are anchoring in so many light codes right now and really creating this new earth that Earth has always planned all along to be, creating that magic that we were always meant to experience, that is always around us at any given time, that we are cutting ourselves off from every time we decide to stay in these situations, right? Because everything that you're not changing, you're choosing. Now that I've said what I've said, you have no excuse, girl. Everything you are not changing, you are choosing. So why are you choosing it? Why are you wasting the energy that you could be using to propel yourself towards your dreams, toward accomplishing your life purpose on this bum person that doesn't care about anything, let alone you and your feelings and your perspectives and your existence, to be honest? Take your power back. Choose you. Trust me, I understand how difficult it is to remove yourself from cycles, again, based off of your own karma with yourself and this person, your own individual traumas that you have experienced in this lifetime and others, your generational trauma that you have carried down and the thought patterns and cycles and belief systems that you are here to break. But that's why you're in this situation, because you're here to break these cycles. The universe doesn't want to keep you on this hamster wheel. The universe is trying to give you the awareness that you are on the hamster wheel so that you can jump the off of it. Universe wants you to live the abundant life that is your birthright and to experience bliss on the daily and be with somebody that loves you unconditionally in the same way that you unconditionally love them. But you are denying yourself access to all of that abundance when you are consciously choosing, because you're not changing, these lower vibrational experiences in the name of caring about somebody's past or giving them excuses for their actions. I don't know, whatever your own excuse in your own story is, drop the stories and just pay attention to the actions and realize really at its core what's going on here is that you are being disrespected, you are being mistreated, all in the name of you being the unconditionally loving person. Like, how evil is that somebody could just throw away that love and not care and tarnish it and just show you continuously over and over again that it's not worth anything to them by not changing their actions. It is a slap in the face every time somebody does the same thing to you, whether it's literally the exact same thing or in energetics, the same disrespect. Every time you have told them, it hurts your feelings, right? You need to respect you before anybody else will also respect you, because you teach people how to treat you with what you are willing to put up with. If you are willing to show that person that you will stand by them no matter what, no matter how they treat you, that's the only thing they are going to understand about you, whether it's something they consciously understand or it's a subconscious belief that they now have about you. I heard this quote once during a really treacherous time of my life that said, if you show a man that you will be willing to follow him into hell, you will never see heaven again. It might not have been those exact words, but it was very, very similar. And that stuck with me because I thought that showing somebody that I was willing to go to hell with them meant that they would appreciate me. They would understand me. They would see me. They would give me more love than I even thought I deserved, because how could you not? Like, this was your ride or die. But in reality, it only showed that person that I was willing to go to hell with them, and they would never give me that taste of heaven because they saw that I was willing to crawl around the trenches of hell with them instead of showing them that I deserve to be treated like that heaven, that I deserved that divine sweetness and bliss, that I was an angel. You know, if I was showing this person that, oh, I could be one of Satan's homies, that's all they were going to know me as, whether they consciously or subconsciously were processing that. And that's why I come forth to share this wisdom with you, that your love is not enough to change anybody. It does not matter the circumstance. That person has to want to change themselves. It has to be an innate desire to be different. It has to be something that they actively choose, that is sitting at the forefront of their awareness through every feeling they feel, every decision, every moment of their lives, really. And if that is not something that is being shown to you, then take that exactly for what it is. People are always telling the truth about themselves. It's just up to you to see through the lines of what they are saying, right? Because people build these really elaborate, detailed illusions around their life and their behaviors and the truth of who they are. The actions are always the flashlight on these illusions that are showing you the truth of what is. I hope that I can shed any light in your life, because I want you to be the best version of who you are. And I want you to be surrounded by the people that are waiting to love you in all of the ways that you are desiring to be loved, the ways that you deserve to be loved. Your people are out there, but you need to stop cutting off your access to them. You need to choose yourself. You need to focus on being the healthiest, best version of yourself and putting yourself in situations that are aligned with you, and not consciously keeping yourself in situations that you are refusing to change. So you're choosing in the name of comfort, in the name of whatever your story is, babe. It's time to rewrite the script, and it's time to start embodying the person that you were born here to be, and call in those people that are meant to love you in the ways you're meant to be loved. So get to work. Start asking yourself why you're keeping yourself in these cycles. Is it because you're comfortable? Is it because that this is the definition of love to you? Whatever your stories are, evaluate the stories, observe the stories, dive deeper into the stories. Where did they come from? Who taught you these things? Start making those connections. But in the meantime that you are doing that mental work, do the physical work and remove yourself physically from these situations, okay? You don't owe anything to anybody. You don't have to justify anything to anybody. If you are in a space where you are not being received for the light being, the beautiful soul that you are, if your unconditional love is being mistreated, abused, thrown in the garbage, straight up ignored, choose differently. Choose you. Put yourself in better positions that are more aligned with the truth of who you are. Even if that position right now is just being alone, you need to be in solitude to be able to come to these conclusions and these awarenesses, and to be able to really tap into your inner strength and remove distraction from the outside world, including this person that is throwing away your love. No one said this easy, okay? It is difficult. It is extremely difficult, but that's why you have people like me, and you have friends, and you have family. And if you don't have either of those things, then that's why I'm here for you. I hope this video was able to help you in some way, shift some perspective, anchor in some truth, and remind you of the light that you are, and also that your love is valuable and you deserve to be exercising it in places where it is well received and also appreciated. I see you, I honor you, and I love you. Thank you so much for the work that you do on an individual basis to navigate your own thoughts and feelings and awarenesses, and anchor in positive energy into your own life, because as you take care of you, you take care of the collective. So thank you. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.